But anyway, I guess we'll begin. Hey,
going.
So much to talk about.
Yeah, all right. Well, hello and welcome to the Neon City Daily Battle Royale. My name is Jamie, and my weapon is determination.
I'm Nick. I have a can of Pepsi.
I'm Josh. I had a shower today.
Hi, I'm still Dave, and I have Warhammer now.
Who will win?
Obviously, Dave, because of all the things we mentioned, his is the most crippling monetarily. Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Hot water costs a fair bit.
It does. It does. Oh, actually, I got some feedback from last week's podcast, guys. Get ready for this.
Wait, we don't accept.
Was it?
We
really
don't
good?
accept criticism.
The one piece of feedback, the question that I got, the very specific question that I got was, what's with Dave signing off with Toodles?
Is that like code?
Or there's something going on with Dave. Yeah,
There's a secret guy out there. I'm just trying to message him. It's just not working.
just make sure that we've
What's
got
wrong with
everything
Toodles?
going on.
Toodles.
It's a cry for help.
Toodles isn't a weird thing.
It's just Toodles.
I think it's just because he didn't say he was still Dave.
Yeah.
I would have said I was still Dave, didn't I, in there somewhere?
At some point, probably.
But did you say it at the very end?
Oh,
or did you
right.
add
Okay.
an
So
additional Toodles?
they weren't too worried about Toodles.
No,
they
not
were
the
worried
word
that
itself.
that it was not. It was Toodles instead of Still Dave,
I'm
right?
sure I would have said I was still Dave.
Oh, you probably
You
did.
usually say it earlier, but then we ramble on for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then say
Keep
goodbye.
talking.
As opposed to the regular non-rambling.
It depends where I cut it off too.
Yeah.
Usually I cut it off at when we do our sign off, play the music, and then there's usually gold at the end. So I just strap that after the music.
Get the strap on out.
Stuff like that, Nick.
Yeah.
Gold stuff like
Josh
that.
loves getting the strap on out at least once a week.
Is that what pegging is?
Yes, Josh.
But that's only when the woman wears the strap on.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's all right.
I'm enlightened now.
See, the problem, you say that, and I have like a weird thing. I'm like, yes. And then I think to myself, wait, is it weird that I think it's weird that someone doesn't know that? Like,
I was just
that's
wondering. I don't know. Pegging just seemed like a really taboo thing, and I'm like, I'm not brave enough to like go out and actually search what pegging is.
okay, right.
It's how you
Go
put
to
tense
Yahoo
up.
Answers, man. But what is pegging?
No, man, Quora. Is it Quora?
Don't know what that is.
Quora. Yeah,
Quora.
Quora is some sort of.
It's like the new Yahoo Answers.
Just ask Jeeves. Go back to
Ask
that.
Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves what pegging is.
Does Ask Jeeves exist still?
I don't even know.
I hope so.
More like
He
Ask
retired.
Jeeves.
I
am
hope he's
right?
almost sentient AI. Like he's just been learning this entire time.
No way. Every time that there's a learning AI, it becomes very, very, very racist very
Yeah,
quickly.
really quickly.
Yeah,
actually,
Microsoft
I
had to
found.
shut theirs down. Yeah, that
'cause-
was hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that happening like maybe 2-3 times now, like in fairly notable.
Microsoft should have
so-
kept that around.
So is it just some guy who's there secretly racist who's writing, like putting some?
No,
code
no,
in there
Yeah,
somewhere?
it's the legit AI.
But someone
It-
has to start that
no,
AI.
it's not that like there's some guy working on the AI who's secretly racist. It's that there are a lot of outside forces who are openly racist.
that's true.
Who just
On the internet,
who
yeah.
just say a lot of shit to the AI to make it fuck up.
Yeah,
and go
there's,
like,
there's a lot of trolls too.
Yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
If you spam it, it's like how Reddit every now and then become like the vigilantes, and they go, so they'll pick something they don't like.
Yeah.
Say Scott Morrison.
Sure. Right.
But then they'll post a picture on the politics subreddit of like a dick.
Yeah.
and say that's Scott Morrison.
And they'll say that's Scott Morrison, and it manipulates Google Images. So when you
That's right.
when you Google Scott Morrison, it's just a giant
It's good
penis.
to know there's some people doing good out there.
Yeah,
I
I mean-
forgot about that.
you fight the good fight, guys.
Yeah, just keep doing it, please.
By the way, are you
enjoy
enjoying
it.
our gaming podcast, everybody?
Yeah,
Good times.
there's a video.
This is
games.
we're already engaged in a battle royale. I don't know what you guys are complaining
I was
about.
going to say this isn't a podcast.
Us
it's a battle
versus
royale.
ScoMo.
Us. Oh, well, man, it's everyone versus ScoMo.
We
really wanna
win.
do it. Australia itself right now is a battle royale, so
The thing is,
If you die in Australia, you don't come back.
you don't come back.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can start a new match though,
They didn't have to
So I
airdrop
hear.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then you're up against Abbott.
That motherfucker's got Speedos. He's a danger.
Yeah, he's a firefighter and he wears Speedos.
Yeah.
Not while fighting fires, though, thankfully.
That would be amazing. Imagine that.
Would that be amazing?
Imagine that.
be a
Imagine
thing.
we're known on the global stage as having a superhero PM who fights fires in Speedos.
If he fought
But
fires
he's
in
also a
Speedos,
moron.
he'd be
Yeah.
dead. Like, he would just burn to death.
Whatever happened to that Hobart guy that decked him?
I think he went to...
Oh, no, he headbutted
Or
him.
headbutted him, yeah.
He had to do a bunch of, I think it ended up being a community service thing. I don't think he ended up spending time in prison or anything. I think he just...
I'm going to call Worth.
Because, I'm fully like... Because, I mean, this is the thing. This is a dude
We don't
that,
condone violence against anyone.
Yes, I do. But
Nick does. But his views do not represent Neon City Daily.
All the rest of us.
for legal reasons, this is a joke.
Yeah. He's like Nick was going to burn down Telstra last night on
Oh,
stream.
it was
You should
tempting.
have done it.
I
For
should've.
legal reasons, that was a joke. He almost
God.
spat your Pepsi.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, good job.
For legal reasons,
Good
this
job.
whole podcast is a joke.
It's a joke,
But
yeah.
Pepsi should sponsor us.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Actually, we do.
Yeah,
tend
just
to
not
make
your
enough
fridge.
of it.
I like how we're like condoning physical violence, arson. Hey, Pepsi.
That's just how it works.
I'm sure Pepsi have practiced some
Physical
dodgy
violence
business.
and arson.
This is also
before.
there's another joke there.
You ever seen that design document for the Pepsi logo?
No.
It's incredible. It's so much wank. It is literally like a design
But it's
firm.
a circle with 3 colours.
That's exactly right, Josh. A design firm had to come in and be like, we need to do a PowerPoint presentation about why this logo is good.
Oh.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. Let's make it about the universe somehow that Pepsi encompasses everything, and it's got like a cheeky grin on
because
it.
it's
and
on like a black.
What? How's it?
No, it's complete bullshit. It is literally someone just like typing a stream of consciousness for 6 to 7 pages, then presenting it at a board meeting with sweat visibly dripping down their face, and the board guys kind of just stop and then begin applauding.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
got balls,
get I don't get it. Like I'm just wondering, is there any significance to the circle with 3 colours in it?
No, but
No.
if you read that design doc, you'll see a lot of bullshit reasons that they pretend. That
But like whoever did come up with it probably charged them millions for it.
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
they would
absolutely.
Have made
So, I
piles of
mean,
money.
that's why they had to
And
do a big design
They would
presentation.
continue making piles of money through like royalties and everything else too. So it's like,
It just
I don't
doesn't-
think they'd make money through royalties.
Yeah?
Like, because if you get like a,
I thought it was
probably
one of
sold
those
the
things.
entire
Depends how
rights.
you
Actually,
sell it
yeah,
to
I
the
guess if they
yeah,
organisation.
sold
if you get like a
rights,
graphic
yeah.
design agency to design you a
True.
logo, you then own that logo.
Yeah, they
don't
would have
get-
sold them on
They
the
should
rights.
make it an NFP. Speaking of which, did you ever watch the YouTube video "Charlie Bit My Finger"?
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, so it's like 800.
This kid bit his finger.
Yeah, his little brother
Yeah.
Charlie.
bit his finger, and for some reason it went viral, and it's
Yeah,
almost got 1 billion views. But they're pulling it down today sometime to make it an NFT.
An NFT,
NFT. Sorry.
And then they're going to try to sell it.
Yeah.
Hang on. So just because I'm me,
Yeah.
I want to. What exactly is an explanation of an NFT?
It's a image or a
Basically,
video with a hash
yeah.
assigned to it.
Right.
So
That's
you're
it.
basically assigning a value to a digital asset.
Right.
So, like, I have created one for our Neon City Daily logo.
Yeah.
And I can either assign value to it or auction it on an NFT auction site.
Right.
And that's literally it. So the thing is, though, everyone else can have a copy of our logo, but
I don't think you should. I don't think you should sell our logo to somebody. That's kind of our logo.
oh yeah, no, I haven't put it on the market. I was gonna put like 1 on it, and that's 1 Bitcoin.
That goes against the entire design philosophy that I had for the Bitcoin. You can't use it for that.
I want to see a spreadsheet of you explaining our logo.
It's
Spreadsheet or
sorry,
a
PowerPoint.
yeah, sure.
presentation?
All right,
Yeah.
so here it's a circle, here it's a square. Inside both it says Neon City Daily. I thought maybe if I made it look like a light, it would work with the theme.
But how does that encompass the universe?
Because Cyberpunk's hot right now, so I thought
It is actually, yeah.
The black background is quite like space,
It is.
which is universal.
So that's what an NFT is.
Yeah.
So they're pulling the video
Right.
down
Yeah.
so that the when they basically upload it as an NFT
Right.
and assign value to it or auction it off, it's one of a kind.
That's
from all those
a
copies
pain in
everyone's
the
got.
ass.
But
It-
yes, the
it's-
thing is
yeah.
with NFTs is like you go on a marketplace and the first thing you see is this really bad gifs. And they're
Bizarre.
like a few cents. People want a few cents for them. anyone else can have a copy of it, but I guess the whole point is that
You've got that
like
one.
they're like physical real world art, there's going to be heaps of knockoffs.
Yeah.
But you can verify the original, and therefore that's the one that has
So
value.
it's all just wank.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely all wank.
Jesus. Okay.
The whole idea originally was that it was meant to create an environment where digital artists could easily prove that they were the holder of that digital artwork.
Right.
And then, like, anything that had good intentions, it's been tainted by, like, oh, but it's crypto, we can pay money for it. And, it's just become, like, this pool of scumfuckery, basically.
Well, that's the thing that I'm not sure if I mentioned it on the podcast before, but like Kevin Smith, his latest movie that he's doing, he's
made an NFT.
Made it an NFT, but he hasn't just made the movie an NFT. He's made the rights to own and distribute it.
Yes.
An NFT.
He does really weird things with that.
He does stupid shit. His
Yeah.
movies are already fucking hard enough to find.
Yeah.
I like them, and it's a fucking issue.
He what was it, Red State, that he went
Yeah,
to
Red State.
Sundance
Yeah.
and screened it, and then traditionally at Sundance you screen it to a whole bunch of people in the audience who are usually from studios, and then they come afterwards and they say, "Hey, I want to buy your
producing
movie."
it and blah blah.
And he had
Selling.
like heaps of interest,
Yeah.
and then he just stooged everybody and said, "Screw you guys, I'm taking it, distributing it myself,
Yeah.
putting it in cinemas." And
Yeah.
he just burnt so many bridges with Hollywood.
Oh, he does it constantly.
Studios,
Though. Like
yeah.
he just seems to have this weird thing going where like he's just one of those people like in that sphere.
Ever since he got told to get off the plane because he was too fat,
Yeah.
he's become really anti anything like Hollywood
Anti-airlines.
or anti-airlines. Like, yeah,
Well,
he's just,
you know what? He's not anti, and it's really frustrating to listen to.
what?
He does a podcast with his daughter now that's all about
Harley Quinn?
how he's vegan.
Oh no!
Wait, the entire podcast is about his veganism?
That's all he is. Him and his daughter, like his daughter basically said, you should be vegan. He said, okay, I'll do it. And now
Yeah, after his heart
him and his
attack.
daughter sit
Yeah.
there and talk about vegan.
He's really got his finger on the pulse.
I just, it's just boring.
Yeah.
Shit.
We're certainly hitting a
it's-
lot of pulses.
Yeah.
That said,
that-
Kevin Smith was like some people. You think podcast people think Rogan.
yeah.
Kevin Smith was doing it way
Oh, no,
before.
he did a massive.
He almost
like,
pioneered a lot of kind
Well,
of
he legitimately made his own almost self-sustaining network.
yeah.
Like effectively internet radio podcasting. And like he did a really good job with it. But then it's just one of those things where like it's he just like, has flights of fancy and fads that he falls into and falls out of and all that kind of stuff. Like I really liked his him and his wife did one for a while called Plus One. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's still going or not. But it was just like them talking about ridiculous shit. And 9 times out of 10, it was him telling her like his side of something and her going, the fuck? I was there for that. That's
Yeah.
wrong. And just it was just genuinely fun to listen to. But now it's like, do I want to hear about him and his daughter being vegans? Not really. Don't care.
Welcome to
I
the
do.
Kevin Smith podcast. On today's episode, beans and sprouts. Stick around, everybody. You're in for a show.
You're in for a big
Sprouts
show.
and beans.
Yeah.
I religiously listen to Jay and Silent Bob Get Old
Yeah.
with
yeah.
just him and Jay Muse. That was pretty good.
That was good.
like
yeah.
Jay Muse has had a messed up life.
Oh yeah, well that was one of the things.
Self-inflicted,
early
but
on. Well, to a degree, one of the
Yeah.
things early on was like he was just talking about stuff and he'd be remembering things. It was like this weird way where you're hearing this man like real time work through
Yeah.
trauma.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like I feel it's funny, but it's like I feel kind of bad for this guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, but it was really good.
Jay
podcast.
Muse is a bit of an enigma for me. Like, I think he's got good acting chops, but you rarely see it.
Oh yeah, no, he's.
There was
like,
one
well, yeah.
where I think it was not Red State. There was one where they had a fairly legitimate actor for the first time. It wasn't just a bunch of their mates in one
Do you
of
mean
Kevin
Zack and
Smith's.
Miri do a porno?
No, it predated that.
Okay.
It was at the height of his addiction.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
And it was the one time that Kevin Smith said, right, if you want to be in this movie, don't be the reason that it sucks. Don't mess it up.
Right.
And so he sobered himself up. He went cold turkey.
Yeah.
And he was just so transfixed that he just wanted to do a good job in front of these
Whoever
semi-legitimate
else, yeah.
actors. And for Kevin, who asked him for a special favor, like don't do heroin or codeine or whatever you
That's
do.
a
I don't
big
know.
ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he went cold turkey, sweated it out, and was just writhing in pain. But he memorized not only his own lines, but the entire script.
Wow.
And then he had about 3 lines, and he spent the rest of the movie.
Chasing Amy.
Oh, okay. Chasing.
there
Yeah,
you
he
go.
spent the rest of the movie as the person that sits there, usually with the script. So when the actor goes, "Oh, line,"
Yeah.
and he basically became that de facto guy
Without even holding
but he
the
didn't
script.
need the physical script.
Yeah.
So it's just this like shaking shell of a man. Ben Affleck goes line, and he goes, "Blah." I'm like, wow.
Oh, God.
Cool.
So what video games you play this week?
Let me think. I played a little bit of Red Dead with you.
yeah.
I haven't been playing like a lot. I kind of played like maybe 10 minutes of Dragon Ball Fighters the other night.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I kind of haven't gone back to that since they released their last character
I
pack.
haven't been there for their character pack the last one.
And I guess I bought it at some point because I had them all unlocked. So I'm like, sweet, all right, cool.
Oh, nice. What a find.
I'll play around with these guys for a
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
And yeah, still a good game. I'm really looking forward for us to playing that again once you've got like a good connection for fighting games. Played a little bit of Vermintide 2 with Josh the other night.
Yeah.
They had like that the Chaos Wastes update.
Oh, yeah.
So-
What's yeah.
Really good.
It's cool.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's a little bit like a roguelike almost.
Yeah.
A roguelite maybe. You go into the Chaos Waste, you begin an expedition. There are like maybe like 5 levels.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like small bite-sized levels. You go through them and then you go to the next one, but you decide which level you go to. There's always like a choice of 2.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's a tree.
Yeah,
with 3 paths.
and so it's like if you go here, you'll get like, and you complete it, you'll get a boon to physical attacks, or you'll get like better defense, but there's also like there are champions here, or this one has hordes that you have to fight.
Yeah.
And as you're going through, you collect these coins that you can use to like replace your weapons with stronger weapons.
Yeah, okay.
And like once you finish it, it all resets. But you can get like really good weapons, and it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, okay.
And I really had a lot of fun with it.
Every second or third. So you start on one starting mission, then you choose your branch and go, I want to do this, or this mission.
Yeah.
And then each one has like different conditions.
Yeah.
It's more horde heavy, or no, there's more champions.
Yeah.
It'll be, some of them will be cursed by a certain god.
Yeah.
And then like every second or third one I think is like a shrine.
Right.
Where as a team you go in, and all the coins that Jamie mentioned that you pick up during the missions, you get to spend them either on miracles or gifts, I think.
Something like that.
And the miracles are basically buffs that you can purchase for yourself, whereas gifts are for your entire party.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And there's some cool ones like, purchase this for 200 coins, and in the next level you do, regardless of which one you choose, there'll be an extra boss. And if you kill it, your party gets like 5% max health increase.
And like I got one really early on where it's like if you kill multiple people at once, you'll get like some temporary health, which I'm like, that's really handy. But then later on down the line, I got another one where it's like temporary health is now permanent health. So I'm just basically like hitting guys with a hammer
Just
of
life
regen.
steal, basically. Yeah.
Regenning effectively.
It was
Holy
great.
shit.
And then, you get to the end, which is always the same. It's like an arena map. And it's just, like that's the end game.
Yeah. You're just getting to there.
And you fight a bunch of hordes, in particular a minotaur, which messed me up several times. And then, so basically once you finish that, depending on your performance, it gives you a whole bunch of chests that then back in the real game.
Oh, yeah, back in the actual thing.
Because all your weapons and everything that you used in the Chaos stuff were just for that.
Yeah.
So you get chests at the end of it
So
that you can then go and use in the real game.
For the actual game. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I
Actually.
did
like
really
that.
well.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. You know how it circles who won a certain statistic at the end?
Jesus.
Jamie was all but one.
I didn't get the most revives.
Oh,
one guy saw Josh first. He's like, I got you.
Yeah. Revives and headshots. I got headshots.
Yeah,
because
'cause
you did not have range.
I had no guns whatsoever.
Classic Jamie.
That's fair. Yeah. Just
So
have
yeah,
sword, do
it took
spins.
maybe, 90 minutes?
Yeah,
to do the whole thing?
It was pretty quick.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was expecting you to say it was like a couple of hours.
No,
like
no.
Just to slog through.
Short levels.
We probably started about maybe like 10:30 or so. After you left, like Josh just had to. Did you have to download something or no? You were finishing a game of Total War.
Yeah.
So he finished that, and then we hopped into it, and I was like, let's just see what this is.
Yeah.
And it just it kept us engaged.
Prior
We
to
just-
midnight.
Yeah, we
Nice.
went all the way through, and then we're like, oh shit, I guess it's like we finished, and it's
It'd be really good for
12.
stream content.
Yeah.
It's very self-contained. It's a good length.
It's got Twitch integration somehow as well. I don't know how it works, but it does have it.
Yeah, I'll figure
I'll
it
have
out.
to re-download it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely grab it, yeah.
Oh,
Just grab it off
sounds good.
Josh's hard drive today.
You could do that too.
It's the fastest way. the fastest way.
Thanks, James. Thanks for sounding like a kung fu mystic while you bust that out.
I don't know what that was.
I'm not sure either. That was
Take
where
the
I went.
download from my hand.
Yeah, definitely worth
If you
checking out.
can.
It's a free update.
Touch your tongue.
Highly
with
recommend
mine.
if you've got Vermintide too.
Yeah.
Grab it, play it.
Because I enjoyed it in
you
the
know.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
I
yeah.
really like it because it was almost like little samples of all the different conditions that you would usually only experience one or two of in a much longer level in the normal game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Whereas this
usually,
was-
from the sounds of it too, they're the kind of things that you only get as like buffs for certain amounts of time in the other levels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you just-
adding like those different types of like buffs and temporary stat boosts and weapons. I don't know. It just makes it much more interesting. Like I'm kind of like running up and there's a weapon shrine and it goes like, okay, if you pay 200 of the coins, you
Yeah.
can get a new weapon.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell you what the weapon's going to be,
You
but it'll
just
be like
get it.
it will be a statistically better weapon than the one that you have now.
Yeah.
However, it might
You
not
don't
be
know
the
what
weapon you
weapon.
really want. Like
Yeah.
there was one time where when I first tried it, I was like, I guess I'll trade my greatsword, and I got like,
Feather duster.
well, close enough. I got like a mace, and I was like, oh, I don't want this.
It's just really well done and for a free update. Very impressive.
yeah,
Yeah, it was free, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
And the
just
one
a-
time I remember though, it's good memory. The one time, one of those gaming memories. The one time I ran ahead of the party. You got over the crest of this blind hill, and then I think it was like a minotaur.
yeah.
Just saw me, and I didn't know at this point it was the first one we'd come across.
Yeah.
And the minotaur it charges,
Yeah.
and so just as
minotaur.
I crested these like steps or this hill, it just bonked me straight back down.
I would say like I saw that happen in real time, and it was. The Minotaur was so well animated, like it really looked like it was like a set piece. Like it looked like if you were playing like a Call of Duty game, you know, when you crest the hill and then there's a Minotaur and he kind of like reels back and he just like headbutts the guy off a cliff or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's I couldn't avoid
you
that.
couldn't.
That was
Yeah, that's the
animated
thing, it's
specifically for that.
animated,
That's how that felt. It was
Yes.
it was really really good to watch.
And I was kind of at the very moment of that happening, excited that I was at the front of the pack, and get instantly
I like-
put in my
Everything's going
place.
There's a-
too well.
There's also like this really nice point where you fell off a cliff, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!" I had to run down and make sure you're okay. And the moment I ran down, because I saw there's like one of those choker rattlings,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I saw him like slinking away, and then Josh fell down like he's gonna get choked.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I jumped down to make sure Josh is okay. The moment I do that, the elf, who was another player who's just randomly joined, gets attacked by an assassin rat. I'm like, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Luckily, the AI was like,
The AI was
no.
on it. Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the really interesting conditions, just quickly, and there was a level where it's shared damage.
Yeah.
So if you've got someone like me that sucks
Oh, that
and dies a lot,
Yeah.
the same amount of damage dealt to me is going to be dealt to the whole
Everyone.
team.
It was
Yeah.
only like, to be fair, it was only shared damage if you
Close
were
proximity.
Yeah, within proximity. But there was definitely a point where one of those flamethrower rats just showed up and started just like blasting somebody,
Yeah.
and I was in proximity, and I'm going like, oof, 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 oof. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening?
It's like a Josh simulator. This is what it's like to play as me.
Oh,
I can
jeez.
relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out this. This is reminding me a lot of, and obviously it does. It's a very similar game style thing. It's just of Left 4 Dead 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that we should play some more of that again.
Yeah,
sometime
dude.
the other day,
I've actually been thinking a lot about like I'm keen for just like some horde fighting games, like where you're fighting a horde. So like Left 4 Dead, Payday, Vermintide, like just those
I could
those
do some
kinds of
payday
games I
again.
could just really go for.
Man, I could do
Whereas
some
I'm in the
payday.
mood for the complete opposite. Like, I'll
Yeah.
play them. Because Vermintide, I was like umming and ahhing, like, oh, I'll go to bed, but I'm glad I
Yeah, fun when you're in there.
But yeah, I'm keen for some RTSs.
Yeah,
So we were
okay.
online with a friend the other night, and we just kind of went down this rabbit warren of like old
RTS
games
yeah.
that we're playing in general. You know, talking about the days of Quake. And,
It was really interesting because like he kept kind of like we were talking in Discord and he would boot up the game and then share his screen to kind of like show it off a little
Yeah,
bit. And,
right.
but it was I'm kind of like going and looking at that going like this is basically like a visualization of how my brain works when I think about video games. I hop from game to game to game like very quickly.
but yeah, he brought up Age of Empires Online,
Yeah.
which I
jeez.
loved when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the art style to just the whole way that it played.
Yeah.
And then obviously Microsoft gave up on it.
Very quickly.
But I guess I really should look into this more often because there's so many, like every game has passionate fans.
Yeah.
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 And there were two games that I'd never thought of in a while. One was Age of Empires Online, which has been revived and is now called Project Celeste, or the Celeste Project.
Yeah.
And Microsoft actually gave the rights to use all the game assets, or it's like under fair use license or something like that.
Fair use. I don't know if Microsoft actually had anything to do with it, but like they haven't.
They're not
gone.
going to sue them.
Yeah,
That's the key.
Even if they wanted to, they couldn't because it's just a free to play fan passion project.
Yeah,
that Microsoft aren't utilizing, so they're not infringing on them. There's no lost profits or any of that shit.
But I booted that up, and it is exactly Age of Empires Online.
Yeah.
But they've added stuff to it.
Right.
And then the other one, what was the other one's Warhammer Online,
Yeah, Warhammer Online.
Oh, yeah.
which is still going because
Yeah.
fans
I know it's still going.
revived it.
It only lasted like I think a year. With
Did it really?
It wasn't
When it
around for
first
long.
hit, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
It died very fast.
I remember the moment that I saw that game for the first time. I was in Harvey Norman in Devonport buying a pre-made computer because I lived in Devonport.
Wow, that is a
Yeah.
very specific memory.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
And I remember it because this was before I started building computers like
Yeah.
confidently.
Yeah.
I was living by myself. I'm like, I need a new computer. All I got is a laptop. I needed a computer. Went to the Harvey Norman. Didn't have a car. Had a motorbike at the time. So it was about, if you weren't carrying anything from Harvey Norman to my flat or my unit, it was about a 40-minute walk.
Yeah.
Carrying a massive computer box. That was the worst probably 3 hours of my life.
no.
Dude, I when I was in I was in Halifax. I was like, I want a TV because I bought a PlayStation 4 because Persona had come out.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a television. And so I left my apartment and I just kind of went wandering. And I ended up going to, of all places, a chemist. And they were selling like a really large flat screen TV. and it was like $150 or something like that. It was really, really cheap. I was like, holy damn, I got to get this. I had to carry that fucking thing.
Oh, no.
Like you carry it for a while and you go like, I need to stop.
Yeah,
And you're just,
yeah.
you're just there on like the side of the road with your head in your hands going like, I'm a
What have I
fucking
done?
idiot.
Think of the games. But that was when I saw Warhammer on the shelf.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I remember one, Warhammer.
Yeah.
And because of very specific tormenting time in my life. Which reminds me of another funny story in Devonport,
Oh, no.
just quickly. Again, was on my learners for my motorbike still.
Yeah.
And very quickly decided that coming down to see family and friends on the weekend was not viable on the motorbike because there's no way I'm going to ride 3 hours, three and a half on the Midlands.
Especially it's cold as shit. Yeah.
And then me being really smart
Oh, no.
went to get groceries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't think ahead or take a backpack. Still relatively new to bikes, so I got the bags. I had about 4 bags. Put them on the handlebars.
Man, I knew that was coming.
But the problem was I put like all the bags on one handlebar. So I've slowly left the car park, not really going, oh yeah, no, this is doable.
No, it's not.
Then he tries to turn.
At high speed, low speed on a bike, you're not turning, you're not leaning too much.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
you
literally
just-
How are you alive?
go to pull out onto the main road. So I give it some juice and
over.
turn, and I end up doing a full 360 back into the car park because The thing, like
Yeah,
the bags are
just
just dragging me around. So I did 2 circles out on the main road before I managed to straighten it up and waddle back into the car park.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's
Luckily ran into a guy on my second visit to the car park from work who offered to drive the groceries home for me.
Dude, I ran into a guy in the car park, and the ambulance was kind enough to just drop their groceries off on their way to the hospital.
Yeah. But I never fell off my bike. Oh, no, I did once.
Yeah, I remember very early on when you got the motorbike, I think like my mum turned to me, she's like, I'm really worried about Josh on that bike.
I love
what if
motorbikes.
he does shopping.
What if he does something on the bike?
There were a few sketchy moments. The first time an ex-girlfriend wanted to get on the back,
Oh,
and because it was a sports replica bike,
yeah. So
the pillion seat was really high. So she's like...
You like hold on to my hair.
She thought it was a good idea at the time, and I'm like, put your arms around my waist, but it was more around my chest.
yeah.
And then I got out on the road and turned the first corner, and she quickly realised, nope, don't like this, I'm way too high.
Oh no.
Put her arms naturally around my throat. Because she's at that level, and I was gotta get home. And she's choking me. The second time there was a sketch moment was I first got the bike, and I was with a friend, and we were like just in awe of this awesome motorbike.
Yeah,
Finally
you
did
got-
it. Finally got my learners. In my parents' carport with it.
Yeah.
And hadn't even done the learners course yet.
Yeah.
Didn't really know bikes.
Yeah.
And I only really got one because Tom Cruise rides them.
God damn it.
Oh, the midget strikes again.
Does not surprise me at all.
But yeah, we were in the carport facing the house where there's a front door and a brick wall.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, just get on and like, we'll give it a little gas. We'll take it in turns.
Juice.
Thankfully, there's a path down the side of my parents' side door that goes to the backyard. Because like you're not used to it. Like the throttle is on the handlebar.
side, yeah.
The front brake is also there.
Yeah.
But then, you've got to worry about your rear brake
Yeah,
and
rear
your
brake,
clutch
sit your
and
foot yeah.
gear changes and stuff like that. So anyway, just not having any real experience or not what, the power to weight ratio of a bike.
Yeah,
You put the
haven't
throttle on.
already done anything with
And
it.
this
Also
bike-
going downhill.
Yeah.
Like in
So
the driveway.
it was a Honda 2 and it had like almost a bit of lag at low revs and then it would take off. Long story short, missed the wall at the front of the carport by mere centimetres. Managed to ride it like
Ended up in your
just
backyard.
my feet
I'm
are off
guessing.
the bike and I'm just wobbling
jeez.
down the narrow path.
Yeah, that is pretty narrow. Down.
Yeah, it is narrow.
Oh.
Managed to keep it off the wall and then wedged the wheel in the fence. But the problem was the fence, it was a metal gate
Yeah.
and the metal poles are very close together. Certainly not wide enough to fit a motorbike wheel in.
So you just
But I hit it with such force.
They
And the
enough
gate,
now.
yeah, they were wide enough now. So the wheel was a bit deformed for a while, but I just pretended it came like that.
I swear you're a menace.
Dad was not impressed when he saw because the dog then escaped because the metal poles were wide enough.
Too wide. Oh,
Anyway,
jeez.
it was a fun trip down memory lane. What games have you been playing, Nick?
Oh, fuck.
Straight into it, Nick. Move on. No one will remember that.
There's nothing to really move in on with me, I don't think. Like, I played some more Sins of Solar Empire by
Nice.
myself because I just sat there going, I feel like something chill.
For those invested in Nick's internet saga,
Oh, yeah.
it's still
It's fucked.
it got worse.
It actually got
Which is
got worse,
to
which
believe, really,
messes
isn't it?
with my head that they could make it worse.
Dave was the original one. It said they've probably got the address wrong.
Well, see, this
Turns
is the
out they
thing.
have.
They got the address right, but they got the line wrong,
Right.
which is stupid because how do you fucking do that?
You beat Telstra.
Yeah. And well, that's the thing. Like, both companies are blaming each other. MBN Co.
What a massive surprise.
It's like, no, this is their fault. And my telco is like, no, this is their fault.
So someone's been enjoying your internet?
No. From
just
what I
nobody.
can, from
But
what
someone's
I can
likely
gather,
been getting
someone's been
dropouts.
getting a lot of dropouts and downtime while they dick around with mine. So but
yeah.
so we put in a bunch of stuff on Friday that was like, so we were trying to fix that'll take 2 business days to get communicated from our system into their system. So it's going to be like, because that was Friday, it's going to be like Tuesday
4
or
weeks.
Wednesday. Yeah. And then it's going to be like, okay, when can you send one of your dumb fucks out to put the fucking hardware in?
It's gonna take 2 business days to figure that shit out, and then they'll put you back on the fucking fortnight waiting list.
There's going to be a lot of yelling at this point.
I can't wait. You should record it. We'll put it on the podcast.
It's tempting,
But
actually.
then some guy go, oh, no, look, there's already a line connected. It's fine.
And I'll stab someone. I will move through the phone.
At this
is a
point,
joke.
They will lose the battle royale.
I will become like primordially metaphysical, and I will fucking
but at this point,
move
so
through the phone.
You'd be like the shadow in Game of Thrones that
That's it.
stabs a guy.
Yeah.
we won't mention addresses, but where they thought it was connected, right?
Yeah.
They said very obviously that there is an NTD, there is a box.
Yeah, there's a box there.
You just need to plug your modem in.
Yeah.
And that was the line they kept repeating. So they're obviously pinging something there where someone, so that's obviously at a house.
Yeah.
It's obviously not being used though.
Well, that
so
was
worst
the thing.
case
They said
scenario,
that-
we
they said
know the
NTD and
address.
everything's in.
Yeah,
They
we know
did-
the address of that house, but we know they're not using it. If this drags on much longer, we know
see,
exactly
that's-
where to go.
The thing is, to make it even worse, right? You think this is already bad enough, dealing with a telco and then being incompetent as fuck, and this, you think this is already bad enough. But the process in which they've taken to fix this also involves shutting off the 4G service that was going off to my router.
Why did that happen?
So now that's gone, and hey, can you fix that? Nah, not until we get everything updated.
Wow, that was borderline useless anyway, wasn't it? For gaming, but your kids
fine
probably
for
could
like
watch
watching Netflix
Yeah.
and watching YouTube and shit. Like that stuff was fine, but it was just like just the actual like connection strength and the constant to
Whereas
play games
now
didn't happen.
your phone has to
Do everything.
do everything, and I hope you've got unlimited data.
No, I've just gone over my data limit with 1 day to go.
They need to pay for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Their incompetence.
As
Yeah,
it seemed like
they
right
will
now,
pay for that. I had a similar situation here with Optus,
Yeah.
and they
right at this second, I'm just focusing on getting the fucking thing done.
have that argument later. Yeah.
That argument comes when I talk to
Just
them
keep
about
a
my
record of all the
fucking
calls you've
mobile.
made, or something like that. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I already have. Listen,
That's
we
just so
I don't
incompetent.
even mind saying like I've made a complaint to the TIO, like
Yeah.
the ombudsman and stuff. Like it's at that point
Yeah.
where it's like you guys are so shit, so shit.
so
That I
incredibly
have to tell
shit.
the guys that are like officially allowed to yell at you.
Yeah.
The fact that like you rang multiple times.
Well, we've been dealing
and
with this since March.
and have said multiple times over multiple months.
Yeah.
we do not have a box yet, and they go, "Yes, you do." It didn't click in any of their fucking thick skulls that maybe
see,
something's
this
wrong.
This is the thing. What happened too was that the way that it finally got, and I say in quote marks sorted, was that I got to a point where I was talking to the missus and I was just like, look, you complain because you don't know exactly what you need to say and that they argue with you when you try and call them during business hours, when, during work or whatever. I can't call them after work because it's after business hours. I'm directed to somewhere in Manila where English is very obviously A, not their first language, and B, they also don't understand what the fuck is going on. So you have Friday off. Take all the documents, all the bullshit that they've started saying, and so one of the things she did was take photos of all around the house to show there was no box outside the house.
Yep.
In the house where the port is to show the fucking NT. Like nothing
Yeah,
is
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And took all that in along with council documents to say where the house was, what the address was. And it took her going into the store, sitting there physically with someone and saying, look at all this. Listen to how you fucked us.
Yeah.
For them to even figure out what their fucking problem was.
What have you done with the box?
And it's I was waiting for it. I was waiting for, but it should have been there or something. I was
it says it's
waiting
there. My
for it.
system. my
Could
monitor
you
says
imagine a more useless response if they went like, "It should have been there"? Like,
I know, right? But that's what I was waiting for because that's how much faith I have in these fucking idiots.
I would show them the picture patiently and say, do you see it?
Well, this was one of the reasons why I couldn't do the like I couldn't do the in.
You'd be in his face going, "Do you see it?"
It's just look at the fucking thing.
You would just start headbutting.
Yeah. Look, it's even on my phone that I've overused the data because of how shit you are.
Telstra were like, you could have photoshopped it out.
That might not be your place. How do we know that photo came from your actual house?
And,
I think you're lying,
that was actually
sir.
one of the things that I said the last phone call I made was, why would I try and get someone's internet set up at a house that I don't live at?
Why would you think I'm
Why?
trying to trick you here? How would I benefit?
How would this make anything any better for me?
I like to think they're in there on lunch break going, this guy. trying to set up internet for his neighbour.
Or some shit, yeah.
We're on to him. He wants to give us money for nothing.
I can't believe he'd give us money so someone else can use the internet. What an
idiot. It's clearly there. It's connected. We can see it.
We can see it. But yeah, that's what it took, and it frustrates me so much.
We couldn't tell. You hide it really well.
I've got a poker face like a motherfucker, I know. But it's just one of those things where I'm sitting there and like one of the things, and this is I think one of the reasons why it's more frustrating is I spent 2 years living in a fucking van.
Yeah.
With no PC.
Yeah, this is meant
And
to
it was
be the
one of
part
the
where you're
big
like, at
countdowns.
last.
At last,
Liberated.
I'll have like this there because I've got some buddies that primarily play on PC, so I can play some other games with them or in some older games that I don't have a chance to play. And it'll be great. It'll be good. It'll be like a digital freedom era. And it's fucking not. It's worse.
Telstra fucks it again.
It's just, I can't.
Yeah, the fact that you had better internet in the fucking caravan, where like if they plugged some shit in the house, like your power went out for a little bit. Like,
This was the thing too. You want to know what they suggested in the meantime?
Live in a caravan?
Got on a $75 plan for a mobile fucking.
God
Yep.
damn it!
And I presume you're actually paying for a connection at this point still, are you?
I refuse. I have refused.
I hope you're not.
Absolutely.
I have gone, guess what? I'm not paying you for.
And again,
The
I
service
have-
that you are not rendering.
I have successfully hit them up for that modem they were trying to sell you for free.
Oh, no.
And just say,
like,
hey,
it's
look,
just-
I'm happy to use it, but I'm not paying $75 for it. Like,
Yeah.
I should have my internet connected. It's your fault.
Yeah. Well, so I just.
You'd be surprised what you can get out of telcos for free because the markup on anything is huge.
Oh, it's massive.
Like I threatened to leave Optus. I was on their online chat thing. And I was getting payout figures for our mobile phone contracts.
Right.
And ended up staying with them because he knocked like a cumulative $60 off
Like a month or something.
every month for 24 months.
Jeez. Yeah.
And then
So
when
I'm like-
that's over, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, by then the contract will be over
Yeah.
and I'll just leave. So
Yeah.
cheers to you, buddy. Like,
But yeah, but no, this is the thing too. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and it's really, really fucking hurting at the moment that I have a fucking desperate need to play Dark Souls 3 again.
Oh.
It got in my head because I was like, I'm gonna do this.
just get one of us to download it for you.
Yeah, you
Specifically Jamie.
should, way ahead of you. I already have it. You just give me a USB or something, and I'll whack it on there for you.
It's just one of those things where like I've just been sitting there like, what do I want to?
Yeah, man. Don't suffer alone.
So
Let us know what games you want and we can
Get me to download them.
get Jamie to download them.
Well, I'll message Jamie for you. It's fine.
yeah, but that being said too, like I realized that I didn't even try Resident Evil Village again this week.
Oh man, Lauren's almost finished.
And I want to. I do. But I think I just spent so much time, like I'd sit at my desk with like all my gaming stuff there and it's set up. But it's just sad.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause,
we were talking about this and we're thinking next Friday for the stream, Nick will come to my place so he doesn't have to worry about internet and we'll actually stream playing Resident Evil Village.
I don't want to be there, but I'll be on the stream. Actually, no. I'll be there because I'll be around people. Because as I said last night on the stream, incorrectly I said I watched a little
I
bit
think I
of...
say incorrectly you said you were brave.
No, I would never claim such a thing. That I was watching Alana Pierce, but that was wrong. It was Jackie Jing. So,
Okay.
but yeah, either way, she was streaming Resident Evil Village for the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
And she just sat there in stunned silence as she was being devoured by a little sluggy thing with a big mouth, and it was
Right.
making really realistic baby noises.
I probably recorded a baby.
Yeah,
And
they probably did record
Yeah.
a baby. You fucking genius.
yeah. And I just pieced out. I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah,
too much.
There has been one point that I know of in Resident Evil where I've just, because I haven't always been in the same room when Lauren's playing it. I've been out painting and stuff. But like, there's one time in particular where she just was playing it and just started going like, oh no, 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 no. I do not like this. No, 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 no. She's still playing. She's like, no, 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 no. And I'm just kind of going like, that's the point that you were referencing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Like, that,
just like
fighting that
creepy modified baby thing. Just
You need to play some Dead Space.
and the sound. No, because Stephen tried to get me to play it once.
Stephen, friend of the show.
Stephen has got me doing two things in my life that I
Pooping and
regret.
peeing.
One, I didn't know what wasabi was, so he gave me a tablespoon of it.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
And then I wondered why he was instantly going to the fridge to get milk.
Yeah.
But I did it anyway. And two, he made me play Dead Space. And yeah, I pieced out very quickly.
Tell you what if like we have a Resident Evil Village night where we stream, we play that, right? We hang out, we play that. What if then, we give you a couple of weeks to recover and then we all hang out and we play Dead Space?
By the way, we have a suggestion box on our stream profile, on our
Do
Twitch
we?
profile.
Yeah.
You know what the only suggestion is there?
Is it Outlast?
That Josh plays Outlast again.
I mean, you got to listen to the people.
Realistically, you need to
The
do that
people
again,
is
man.
Latos.
That's fine.
He's the people.
That guy's like Liam Neeson and I'm his hot daughter. He is just
Wait, what does that mean?
relentless.
Look, he might be ginger, but we have to listen to our audience. Okay?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. He just wants to watch me cry, I swear.
It's funny as fuck, man.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie. Like I can't tell you that that's not why I'm interested.
Yeah.
But
I'll
I
play
will tell
Outlast
you
again.
that
I
I have a
have
lot
committed
of
to
fun
playing it
with that.
again.
I did.
But
have
I'm
to.
not going out of my way. Like, I need someone
it's
to
not
go,
out of
hey,
your way. It's like
tonight,
right there."
Josh, you need to play Outlast.
I don't believe you because we'd say that and you go, nah.
We've
No,
said that
seriously,
before,
last
I think.
podcast I said, if someone reminds me and says this is a dedicated time for Outlast now, I'll do it.
All right, well, this Friday we'll have a dedicated time for Resident Evil. And
Yeah.
then next Friday it's Outlast.
Ooh, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Well, you're not playing Resident Evil.
That's true, yeah.
I'll play
I'll be
Resident Evil.
I'll be the guy in the corner making whimpering noises while you play Resident Evil.
I'll be the guy in the other corner with a heart.
So if you
on.
can't tell, oh my gosh.
Maybe I should make you play so your hands are busy.
Nick has to have his hands in the air at all times.
There's going to be a horror game and a horror time in the room. But
and I've got the soundtrack of Josh's tears. What could be better?
like any,
Perfect lubricant.
they taste like gravy.
Gravy? Did you say gravy? I love gravy.
Josh is going to be.
I don't want,
Dave
I
is
don't want
just
your
licking
gravy.
up the tears.
I want actual gravy.
What is
Not man
happening in
gravy.
Jamie's living room?
Oh, man.
You got Nick with an erection, but his hands are in the air.
It's in the air, so I can't.
I'm whimpering while Dave licks my face.
Jamie's playing Resident Evil.
Lauren walks in and goes, "Oh no, 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 no! I don't like it." But no, anything in a
So
horror
what
game
we-
with a baby, anything
Yeah.
with a baby. I don't know why. I love babies; they're cute. But if you modify a baby
That's
in any
why,
way to
I
put in any
assume.
horror setting, is like I found out that Steven's thing, friend of the podcast, his thing is Blade Runner, like the people who have.
The replicants.
No, not the replicants. Like people who don't have legs, but they replace them with blades, like prosthetics.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a real life thing.
No.
Although he is freaked out by that South African murderer / Olympian. Olympian.
Yeah.
Oh, the.
Why is... Okay.
the guy that shot his girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That full on.
Well, I mean, I'd be a
and
bit
Stephen
worried
watches
about
a lot
him
of
too.
horror
If I ever
stuff.
went to a bathroom, he was going to fucking blast me through it. I
True.
wouldn't be pleased about
Yeah,
it. So.
but Stephen watches a lot of horror stuff. He has a high tolerance for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But genuinely does not like any limbs that have
should
been
play The
replaced
Suffering.
with blades.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
Camille in League of Legends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should play The Suffering.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whereas I am babies. Anything with babies. Like horror
Yeah.
games freak. Everything
that's the
freaks
I
thing.
me
remember
out.
when you had a baby and you're like...
Yeah, I had yellow shit. But anything.
From the fear.
Is that
Yeah.
what a blade is then? It's a baby with a blade attached to it. Spins around.
Spins around like a
Spin
baby.
that, yeah.
Tiny baby
Yeah.
with a blade on
You
it.
put like a little rope around it and you just like... the Beyblade goes.
Across the lino floor.
All I can think of is, a baby that you've just choked.
Here, have this massive knife.
Anyway,
Why would you choke the baby?
for some reason, I had a really
It's a euphemism.
specific image in my head of a baby with a whippersnipper cord around its throat while you were trying to start it.
Wow,
But it was sitting on a Roomba. So you could spin on the Roomba.
a Roomba wouldn't spin.
They do when they hit walls.
Not that. Not Beyblade speeds.
Again, weapon
You can modify it.
I have a lot to say about that entire sentence, but the Roomba one is really.
I don't know why. That was just the image that popped into my mind. I'm like, oh, that's messed up.
So the point is,
My dreams after watching Resident Evil will be
terror
weird.
thing is like anything like weird baby related.
Well,
Okay.
horror in general, but yes, specifically,
Yeah, specific.
it gets worse
Okay.
with horror babies.
Right. So
That makes sense.
So yeah, you definitely don't want
that's
to
the
play
thing.
Dead
Like,
Space.
that is like the whole thing though, where that is something that plays on people's. No, that's a good thing. Oh, wait a minute, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then they make it more messed up by
Re-
doing other stuff.
Remember that sequence in Catherine when Vincent finds out that his girlfriend is pregnant, and
Catherine?
he has a dream about a
Hey,
giant baby
no,
chasing
I
him.
refuse to say that Catherine is not a fucking horror game.
Oh, it's got horror elements for sure.
Yeah.
It's like
Catherine
if
is-
Tetris was spooky.
it's
way,
spooky
yeah.
as fuck. That game is terrible. That game was like that game made me have legitimate existential crises.
Best game at Evo.
Playing. It was amazing. It was like I love Catherine, but I'm not going to pretend that it didn't hurt my soul.
That's because you were going through like a similar situation at the time when we played it. I
Because
think. You had like
No,
you either had
it's for
a baby
anyone.
or
Like, I
baby
don't
on
give
the
a
way.
shit who would, and like not to sound whatever, but almost specifically like just in my experience and the people around me, males playing that game will have terror moments in that, like playing that.
Is there testicle stuff?
No.
Why is that the terror moment for you, Josh?
Well, he said males
is there
specifically.
A testicle? Oh god!
He said males. So I'm
One
like, what do
big
males
testicle.
have?
This is because you don't want a vasectomy.
I'm never getting one.
Yeah,
It's
see?
not a matter of want. I'm not getting one.
See, I'm calling
Babies
them
and
a nagging
vasectomies.
for it at the moment.
I'm making a game
they're
tailored for
quite
you,
linked,
Josh.
The two
Yeah.
babies and vasectomies.
Yeah, I'm not getting one.
Why not? It's fine.
I will go celibate. Is that the word?
Celibate.
Celibate? Before
a celebrant is someone who like
Yes,
officiates weddings.
before anyone cuts my dick off, I will.
That's not what a
That's
vasectomy is.
castration, Joshua.
Same thing.
Not the same thing.
Basically. yeah.
No, it's not.
Castration is taking the balls off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
actually
so
cutting them off.
I guess that's
cutting the
dickstration.
finish is like gelding, isn't it?
Could be guilty.
Yeah.
Either way, no one's going in my junk with a knife, so
See, whereas I'm like walking dick first into the arm, being like, take it, take it.
you just go to the GP and I'm sick of waiting. You do it.
You do it now. Yeah.
You just hand him your hobby knife. I got the tool.
Never mind the glue. Oh shit.
No,
But no, Catherine has horror elements to it. They're pretty steep.
there are horror
actually,
elements.
to be fair, too, I haven't played Catherine full bodied.
Me either.
Is that on PC or is that?
No,
on
it's not.
something
That's why I
stupid?
haven't played it.
Fuck.
It's on everything but PC.
Get fucked.
I know. Once
it's
it
a
comes
good
out,
attitude.
It's a
man.
really good game.
Yeah.
I like
I'd
that
like to
attitude
play
though.
it.
It's not on
It needs to
PC.
be on fucking everything. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Well, it needs to be on
it's-
PC.
Catherine original came out on PC like ages after the
Ages
fact.
afterwards,
and then they
yeah.
go, "Oh, here's the
Well,
next
Catherine
version
on
of it."
PC only really came out when they mentioned Catherine full bodied, didn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So guess what? We're going to make Catherine full bodied. So we'll chuck you a bone. We'll give PC players normal Catherine.
Yeah.
But then we're going to do the additional stuff one on everything else.
Yeah, I really want to play full body.
You know, I feel like the best, it's been converted to PC thing that I kind of waited for that could have happened eons ago, and I wish it happened. It was Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah. No,
'Cause-
dude, Sega have been really knocking it out of the park with a bunch of their
Sega-
ports.
Well, because, what is it? The samurai game that I sent you at one point.
Oh, Onimusha?
Yeah, Onimusha.
Yeah.
That was such a good port.
That was
Really
Capcom,
liked
wasn't it?
That was.
Yeah.
But like that happened. And it's one of those things where like someone mentioned, hey, if you want more, like up-res ports of older games, just and I think it was literally one of the guys that was on the team doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like, just buy this.
Yeah, buy it.
Just make this successful, please. It'll show them that we want these.
I think that was also with when Valkyria Chronicles was
Yeah,
ported.
yeah,
Like, that was a
Valkyria
really,
Chronicles
really
got ported
good
too, yeah.
port.
That
and
was.
like people just bought it and Sega went like, well.
Oh, hello.
Interesting.
Hello there.
People will buy things.
It's that thing too where it saves things from getting stuck on console generations that aren't as easily accessible anymore.
Because once it's on PC, it's
It's always on PC.
basically.
Yeah.
Well, like I went in after last week actually talking about Fatal Labyrinth.
Yeah.
The like with you, I think on the stream maybe.
Might have been. I can't remember.
podcast.
I can't remember where we
I
talked
did a lot
about
of
it.
yelling last week on the
You
podcast.
did do
That's
a lot.
all I really.
I don't think
have.
you mentioned it last week on the podcast.
Okay, so it was probably when we were streaming that I mentioned it. But yeah, it was like one of the first roguelike games ever made. It was on the Sega Master System 2.
This was on the
was called
stream. Yeah.
Fatal Labyrinth. And I went, is it? I know there's been a thing of it. And I went and checked on my Steam list and I already own it. I've already bought it on Steam. I just had to install that thing. So
Yes,
now
boy.
I have Fatal Labyrinth some more.
That's like me whenever someone's like, there's this game, right? And it sounds good. I'm like, that does sound like a good game. I should go get that or check it out. I already have it. I was like, oh, I forgot I bought that. It's great.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I'm going to interrupt
Are you?
because if I don't do this now, I'll forget. We have a competition to draw.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is the Discord one. So we encourage people to join our Discord
This was a while
server.
ago. This is the old competition.
This started
the
in
current one.
April.
I thought these were the same competition.
No, we've got two
We've
competitions.
got two competitions going?
We've
We
got
have
two
we have that,
competitions.
No one tells me anything.
Me and Jamie are sitting on this side of the table. Like, what do you mean there's
No,
two different ones?
This one is join. We encourage people to join the Discord server and post the
and post on there.
funny meme, and we'll pick the winner. It'll be a vote as to what we find the funniest. Now we've got a few to go through, so we're going to pause the podcast here, and we will come back with a winner. Is that all right, Jamie?
I'm letting you pause it.
Oh. Hey, we're back.
Royale
The Battle Royale is resumed.
So we've gone through the memes. Thank you for those that entered.
Well, some of you.
All three of you.
Yeah. Well,
We love
yeah.
and hate you.
It was a higher barrier of entry. There were a few extra steps that people didn't like. We got quite a few entrants on the Mass Effect competition.
Yeah, you
Just
should
a
have taken the
reminder,
memes from that.
You should, yeah. You should go and share the post. Just read the instructions on it, and you can win Mass Effect Legendary Edition. But for now, we have finally decided on who wins the Discord meme competition. Who was it?
Say it.
And the winner is.
And the winner is...
Kale. Genuinely forgot.
I thought you were joking.
We'll put the winning memes up on the Facebook page because we can.
Yeah.
There were some that I would not feel comfortable putting up there. You're sick and you know who you are.
See, the problem is you might just be looking at me.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah.
We had to disqualify Nick.
Yeah.
Quality content, Nick, but unfortunately,
Unfortunately, part of the team.
yeah. So, congratulations, Kale. I'll be in touch and we'll
Work something out.
get you some money to spend on
Mass
some
Effect.
games.
That reminds me, you owe Lauren like $50.
I do. I have two vouchers. One was for this, and one is still sitting there for Lauren. So I will send both.
Yeah. It's only the Christmas stream.
Oh,
Sure.
jeez. Oh,
Even though
wow.
we're pretty close to next
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's like we're like 5 months into the year.
Lauren wants to go double or nothing.
No, just give her her money.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's one competition down. Other competition ends by the time this podcast goes live. You'll have a few days left.
Yeah.
You just simply need to go to the Facebook page, find the competition post, share it, and let us know once you've done it. And you'll go in the running to win Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Speaking of which, games I've played this week.
Yeah.
Not Mass Effect.
All right.
But I've
I was
bought
gonna
it,
say,
you
have
downloaded
you
it.
I
actually
downloaded
played
it.
Yeah.
I just stumbled across a review at work on lunch and was just like, oh, I wonder what people think of it. Like, I would have bought it regardless. People could have shit all over it and I would have still got it. And they kind of did shit all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this was a review specifically just about one, the remaster of one.
Right. Like, what an old feeling game.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. This reviewer was really kind of jaded at the fact that it was more true to form RPG than the subsequent two games.
Yeah, because it was.
And it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was Mass Effect.
I don't know, he didn't like that. So,
Maybe I
this
don't
is the
like
problem
the
with
fact that
reviews.
he's
They're all
a
very
bitch.
subjective, no matter how no matter how much you try.
I have a lot of trouble with reading reviews.
Yeah.
I do too. It really comes down to like a lot of times I read a review these days and it's kind of like, oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And-
Same.
And particularly when you're looking at an old game like this, you don't need to review it.
Yeah.
It's
Like
done.
the only thing you need to review, like
The upgrades.
how is the game technically?
Yeah.
Like if you've already played the game, go back. It's the exact same game. If you're interested, read our initial review. Here is a technical rundown of how it performs. Does it perform better? Have they fucked it up? Does it perform worse? That's all I want to know.
That's it. That's
Yeah, so from a technical perspective, I'm looking forward to it because they're good. For the most part, there's a few bugs and things like that. Like he was complaining about how the Mako rolls.
That's how it always
Yeah,
rolls.
no
Like, but
shit.
that rolled in the first one.
Everyone, yeah.
So I really don't think he kind of grasped the concept of just reviewing
Had he
the Legendary Edition
had
component.
He played Mass Effect before?
Yes.
Like was this his first time? He's
No,
like,
he-
well, this Mako roll is really
Apparently
weird.
done 2 playthroughs of the first one before playing the remaster.
Too, what a bitch.
So anyway,
So what he's after is hate clicks.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped to play it
I'm keen to
in
see
high
how it is
fidelity,
now.
and even he said that the environments look pretty.
Good.
You
That's
know,
that's all we needed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
if
it.
I'm buying an old game again, I'm just buying the old game again. I just want that game again.
I'll probably buy it on sale at some point.
I'll
maybe.
get it on sale.
Like, I'm not. It's definitely not something that I'm like, gotta get it now.
Yeah,
You know?
so it's the same to be honest. Like I will admit, like I am keen to do a run through of the entire series again. But yeah, obviously, I'm just like I'll just get it on sale. At some
They
point.
did do some mechanic changes
yeah.
in the way that it handles, and by the sounds of it, appeased people like this guy and dumbed down the RPG elements. Like,
Fuck off. Not interested.
yeah,
was-
like
that's actually
why?
really
That's not a remaster. That's a rework.
That's
at
a
this point.
demake.
Yeah. I don't know how deep those changes run. Like he was going on about how the scope was so wobbly in the original.
Oh, fuck off.
What?
But then I'm like, but there was an actual tree, like a text
Yeah,
tree.
there was a tree to go through.
There
Stability.
was a stat that was tied to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
but so if you
now,
want-
Like a first-person shooter, like, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to play.
I don't think. Wait.
and now that's
Shooter.
gone,
Ugh.
and the scope is just by default a lot more stable. And I'm like,
No.
half the fun of that was that I missed. That I loved the other 2 games,
Yeah.
but they did turn more into action cover-based
turn more
shooters.
into
Yeah,
Those
they
shooters, yeah.
did.
Whereas the first one was very Dragon Age as
Yeah,
well.
it
Like
was
was similar.
an
In- it was an RPG.
It was an RPG with action elements,
Yeah.
whereas the 2 and 3 were action games with semi-RPG.
Look,
Yeah.
I would understand if you go, oh, the scope is way too wobbly if they had that kind of same thing in Mass Effect 2 where you had the limited ammo and it's like,
Yeah.
you only have like 12 shots in a sniper rifle or some shit. Every shot I miss is a big deal and the game is fighting me. It's constantly fighting me. And I need to invest in a tree to make that good. Like I can understand why that's a problem.
Yeah.
But you've got unlimited bullets in Mass Effect
Yeah,
1.
yeah.
It literally does not fucking matter.
No,
And
exactly.
if you don't like the way the guns handle, just be a biotic.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, in my original playthroughs, it was so bad that I just played pistol the whole game. It's like now they've made it so I feel like I can actually change weapons depending on the scenario.
Nah, guy's a chump.
Yeah,
and I'm
so
like,
guy's a
you are
bitch.
playing it wrong.
Opinion
man.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
Guy sucks.
Yeah.
So I got angry at that. I got weirdly defensive after that. I didn't
'cause-
look at that and go, he's right, I'm not going to play it. I'm like, I'm going to play it in spite of you because I know I'm going to enjoy it,
No,
except
you
I
should-
am annoyed that they removed.
Yeah.
What you should
Heavy
do
RPG elements.
instead of like going, I'm going to base whether I play this game on whether I hate this reviewer or not. You should base whether you go to their website anymore.
Yeah.
Don't go to their
I
website
know, it was
anymore.
PC Gamer.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, this.
I didn't mind. I don't mind
They
them.
used to be okay, but
Yeah.
now they just suck.
Yeah. It's
Hard hitting opinions here.
Hot takes with James. They suck.
they do though.
Yeah.
They
They've
do.
sucked-
I
they've
get it.
sucked for a
No,
while.
get it.
I
They'd
struggle
be
to go.
shit.
I struggle to find anywhere that I trust the review.
See, I just
Honestly,
don't.
I either go, I'm interested in this game based on what they've released,
Yeah.
promotional wise.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it or not.
That's
To be
how
honest, the
I
Steam
work.
reviews
Yeah.
are more helpful
Yeah,
sometimes.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't read them.
And this might be a bit of a controversial opinion for someone who runs a podcast where it's all about video game opinions, but I think that you shouldn't listen to reviews at all. I think that if a game looks interesting to you,
Yeah.
don't look for reviews
Yeah.
because you just find someone just basically spouting shit most of the time.
That's the thing, though.
In
I
either
find
direction.
that like there's a difference between reviews and what guys like that do.
Yeah.
I'm saying quote marks journalists do, and things that we do, because we just talk about whether we had fun
Yeah.
more than anything. Like we'll talk about like the other aspects of it a bit, but it revolves so much more about did I have a good time?
Yeah.
And that's what fucking matters. Like, I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. I know there's a whole lot of things to do again. Like, everyone's worried about the tech in them and how they look and like pixel count of models, like to a degree. But there's stuff that's just like, no, if it's got all that and it's not fun, I don't give a shit.
Can you imagine how many Tom Cruise movies I wouldn't have watched if I listened to people's opinion?
Oh, everyone.
Yeah.
So some good can come in reviews then, obviously.
Dave, I haven't forgotten you're still coming to Top Gun 2.
I actually ran into
Tom Cruise?
No, this reviewer
stepped on him.
online. Like, so, but it was the first game review that I'd watched in a long time that I really enjoyed. It was by this guy who's been around for a while. He's worked in the industry. He's done like video reviews for places like Kotaku and stuff, which like initially you strike against, but I kind of I was like, I'll watch this because
He's left. He left them.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he runs I think it's Tim Rogers or something, but he runs a YouTube channel called Action Button Reviews. And I think he's got his own website. And I just really enjoy the format of these videos because one, they are long as fuck, and it gives me something for my brain to focus on while I'm working.
Yeah.
And two, he doesn't just kind of go like run through like, oh, what kind of game is this? What did the graphics like? What did the gameplay elements? He kind of gets philosophical with it. And so he's doing these reviews that were running up from like basically the crescendo of his first season is going to be a cyberpunk review.
Right.
And so he started what did he start with? Something. But he then moved on to reviewing Pac-Man. And then he reviewed Doom.
Right.
Then he reviewed like The Last of Us. And he reviewed Tokimeki Memorial. But like these reviews were like between 3 to 6.5 hours long.
Right.
Wow.
Like he went in.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed them. Like they're really enjoyable reviews, and they're kind of like these in-depth things that I've never really seen before. And that's like, I'm not saying that it's reasonable to expect like high quality 6-hour productions for every video game review, but that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. I'm not interested in this up to minute crank out like a word count bullshit review that you get these days. I'm either into watching somebody play a game and seeing if they enjoy it, and then by osmosis, like, does that look like something I'd want to enjoy? Or I'm really interested in hearing a very like a deep dive philosophical dissection of what the game means, and like this guy went on for like 40 minutes about how The Last of Us did basically two things, and it did them well, but he made it interesting to hear him say that, and you don't get that in modern day game reviews. You get people going like,
Because there's no money in that.
no, they want click throughs, and they go, we have to get it out instantly because we're racing. It's a race. So just any shit gets through, and it's a shame.
I watched something in a similar vein, which is ACG, and it's just a one-man band, and he has committed, as a rule, nothing is less than 20 minutes, which again is still
Doesn't sound like 6 hours to me, but okay.
but comparing that to the majority of reviewers out there, like 2-3 minute, like IGN knock them out in like 2 minutes, and he has a structure to it where he does talk about technical aspects, the graphics and things like that, but he never offers, as a rule, much opinion or any opinion on whether he liked the game,
Sure,
or not.
Yeah.
It's here are the things to consider. Here's how it maybe fits into a lineup. Sequels. Right. Here are the prerequisites. Here's the hardware. Here's the performance. I'm
He
like,
started with Final
done.
Fantasy, by the way. That was the first review. Final Fantasy.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did that go for?
It was about like, I think it was also around like a 3-hour mark.
Yeah, okay. So, there's certainly reviewers out there who are cottoning on to the fact that there is a market
People want an
for...
actual review.
They need to make good things. Yeah.
Well, what have you been playing, Dave?
Sod all.
Nice.
Well, good timing.
Thank
I
you,
have to
guys.
leave.
No, tiny bit of Red Dead, tiny bit, and then I've been watching YouTube and putting together my Warhammer.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
All right, well, Nick's leaving us.
Nick's
Yeah, I'm
forcing
about
the
to-
end of
I'm
the
about to
podcast.
leave, so-
That's all right. We had a hard cut off.
If you guys want to go, you can go, but I need
I've got
to.
to mention some LOL stuff because it was exciting for
Oh
me.
no!
Okay, Dave.
Stay.
They
Nick.
dissolved the proper pro league,
I have
like
to
the
leave.
one sponsored by Riot, dissolved last year.
Nice.
Right.
So there's another one going, and we still got to go to the mid-season international, and we actually got out of group stage for the first time ever.
That's a big
First
deal, by the
Australian
way.
team got out and they actually won a game after that as well, which is
Wow.
big news for LOL people. But
Cool.
NA, by
guys.
comparison, who drop millions of dollars on import players,
And
they
we beat
don't
them.
even have local talent that they consider worth
well, they've got us
investing in.
now because we're part of NA now.
Yeah, they rarely make it out of groups. It's a meme at this point.
Yep. The funny thing is, so the people in Australia, our team, are the guys that didn't get picked up to go to NA,
Yeah.
beat the NA team.
Yeah,
so
nice.
it's like, suck it.
So Australia's on top of the LOL world.
Best ever.
Yep,
Take that, Imperial measurement users.
exactly.
All right, Nick,
You
go
beat
play your
all.
old man's game.
I am going.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming and listening to our Battle Royale. Until next time, I died in the house.
I'm still here.
I owe people games.
I inhaled too much glue.
And good night.
Still Dave. Toodles.